After they put out their bins of recyclable rubbish, most Australians think no more about it. But this is just the start of a process which is facing a crisis. In Australia, trucks bring the mixed plastics, paper, glass and metal to a facility like this one to be separated. Until recently, about half of the plastic and paper was then shipped to China. Chinese companies were importing and processing nearly half the world's plastics and paper recycling. But in January, China's government in effect banned the import of recyclable waste. It had allowed in bundles that were up to 10% contaminated, meaning up to a tenth of a bale of one type of recyclable plastic could, in fact, be non-recyclable material. Australian centres like this one had to do only a rough sift of the initial material.
The fact that it's made up of different plastic sites in itself is contamination. Well, you can see there's a bottle of water there. It's made out of a PET material there, and the cap is made out of a different material, and you've got the label, which is made out of a different material again. So the label, the cap and the neck would be regarded as contamination.
China now says only 0.5% of each imported bundle can be so-called contamination. There isn't a plant in Australia that can produce a bundle that can pass that test. Even the operators of this new one in Townsville can't promise less than 8% contamination. The business model is broken.
The supplies are constant, but the demand's been wiped out by about half. And yeah, there is a real challenge to find a market for those recyclables in both the short term and the longer term.
Some of the oversupply is being taken by Australian processors paying under half what they were for plastics, and now taking away the bundles of paper waste for free. But they can't take it all. No one is admitting to stockpiling. Big mountains of plastic and paper are a fire risk. Creating them breaks laws, but the excess has to go somewhere.
About 10% of everything that comes into this facility is waste that can't be recycled, and it's bound up, put in bales like those, and that will go to landfill. The concern now is that a lot more may end up in landfill. Those bales are 90% plastic. That would have gone to China. Can't anymore.
Those in the industry say long-term this could be an opportunity for more sophisticated processing of recyclables within Australia. But in the short term, they say they need in effect a subsidy from government. That means higher taxes to keep the bin collections going. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.